First game, Indiana's in control for most of that game. Second game, Vegas is in control for most of that game. But you texted me and said that you wanted to talk a lot more specifically about Aliyah Boston and the A'ja Wilson matchup. So I'm going to give you the floor, my guy. What are you seeing so far through 2 games of this series?
So I just think that Aliyah Boston's physicality is just starting to kind of work against her. I think that like I mentioned in the clip, like I feel like she's getting flack for it. Some people might even throw out they think she's like a little dirty, little too physical because she's always kind of involved in she's just one of those players that invites contact, that once there's like any kind of like bump, like once you hit, like she is elbows and body and shoulders and she's fighting for position. And I just think so. Ultimately, my big takeaway, bro, is as you're matched up with A'ja Wilson, I think someone like Aliyah Boston right now is I think her limitations are starting to show because she is a true big and a true center, as opposed to the many talents in the league we have that are these kind of hybrid forwards and bigs and versatile bigs. But Aliyah Boston's versatility, if you want to touch on Aliyah's versatility as an offensive player, I think the main thing you bring up is her shooting ability. I think she has shown she has the like that mid-range shooting touch, right? She could even step behind the three and knock down a walk-up three or a swing and a catch and shoot or a pick and pop. She can hit that too. Hasn't not taken like really any threes right now. But we know she can hit the baby jumper. We know she can hit the shot on the short roll or the pick and pop or right in that dunker spot. She can shoot the ball, right? But where her versatility lacks as a big that might be considered versatile is what she can do off the dribble. And I just think she has to try to be a scorer. And the more I watch, bro, the more I realize like she is the one who misses Caitlin the most. In 13 games with Caitlin, the 13 games that Caitlin did play, I mean, everyone was talking about how great Aliyah Boston looked. That was like the story of the team. And a lot of that was off action that she had with Caitlin because of her gravity in that 2-player game. And AB was looking her best playing off of that. She had a lot more space, a lot more room to operate. She just looked great. So in those 13 games, she averaged 17 and 9. In those 13 games, she had her only 30-point game of the season. She had 3 20-10 games, 20.10 rebound games. And of the 13 games, only 3 of those games did she score in single digits. She's had 2 games scoring in single digits just in the playoffs. So I just think the more I watch them, like clearly we know Indiana is shorthanded and they lack the depth. But when I look at Aliyah and when I look at them trying to challenge Vegas here, Aliyah, especially in that second half, bro. I mean, I know she's not like a scorer. Like I know that's not really her player model, but she can score. And we know she knows how to be aggressive. So now I'm thinking in my mind, I'm just starting to wonder, is she still needing to learn how to have more of a scorer's mentality? Or are they not utilizing her enough as a scorer and looking to put her in more spots to be a scorer and get them, 15 plus points? She hasn't scored over 15 since August 29th in a 1-point win over Seattle. And of course, they've won games. If she doesn't have to score over 15 to win games, fine. But they're in a spot now where they would need Aliyah to like assert herself and try to be more of a scorer and put some more pressure on A'ja. And I think the way that she scores is often too much like, and it's fine, but I think manufacturing more offense for her out of sets, using her in the 2-player game, getting her more, more looks as, with her shooting touch would help Indiana here. But I just think I think when you're matched up against Asia, it just naturally shows like if you're not super versatile yourself, because Aliyah Boston's a good, very good, as we know, good, strong, big. She has a lot of great qualities to her game as a big. But matched up against Asia, you just see the difference in shooting ability because Asia can shoot it off the dribble. Aliyah more catch and shoot, not going to do as much off the dribble. Obviously, Asia's just, a little bit more of like the athlete up and down, a little more athletic. But she just kind of wears her out. And I don't think Aliyah offensively, I think it's just my big takeaway is like it's showing how offensively she really needs her Caitlin. She needs her like lead creator to help her get going. Cause I just think right now, I don't think they know how to go through her enough or to encourage her enough to be the scorer that they need her to be.
That's definitely an interesting point. I mean, as you're sitting here talking, I'm just kind of thinking back to what's happened over the last 31 games of the season after Caitlin played last. And the one who benefited the most was Kelsey Mitchell. And which makes sense because, you need someone to kind of take over. I don't want to say take over the scoring responsibility from the perimeter, but in a way, take over the scoring responsibility from the perimeter. And Kelsey Mitchell showed what you and I both have been saying well before Caitlin got to the WNBA, which is that number one, the Fever's record is not indicative of the talent on their team. And number two, even with Caitlin there, Caitlin's not the sole reason why they were successful. We saw that with Kelsey Mitchell and their ability to even be in this position without Caitlin. That's the whole reason why people were talking about whether or not they even need her. But I think the thing that you would think would happen, it almost kind of seems like what's happened with Aliyah, you can. I don't want to say we probably should have expected, because I don't want it to make it seem like I'm like trying to slight Aliyah Boston, but the dynamic of Caitlin as the guard and Aliyah as the big, between the dynamic of Kelsey Mitchell as the guard and Aliyah as the big, the main difference, obviously, that Kelsey Mitchell is not nearly the facilitator or the passer that Caitlin Clark is. And so a lot of what we were seeing Aliyah Boston get in those 13 games with Caitlin, and even last season with Caitlin, is she was getting a lot of those fast break looks because of the get ahead pass that you love to talk about from Caitlin, but also just running the pick and roll effectively, and Caitlin just being able to find Aliyah in those various spots. Kelsey Mitchell isn't that caliber of facilitator, isn't that caliber of passer, and so we're not seeing that. I also think, though, aside from that, and I texted you this yesterday because I had to watch. I was going to say rewatch. I rewatched the Minnesota Phoenix game, but I watched the Aces game last night to prepare for today. And the one thing that I noticed is it seemed like in game two, more than usual, Vegas was setting screens for Asia and having Asia set more screens as a way to, as you said, use Aliyah Boston's physicality against her. Because rather than all of that physicality and all that energy solely being directed towards Asia, like it was in game one, all of that energy for Aliyah and all that physicality was being used to fight over and fight through screens. So we're seeing Asia get back to getting those wide open looks on the elbow from the free throw line in that mid-range area that she likes to shoot from. But then also on the offense side of the ball, Aliyah's just tired now because she's doing so much moving. And
Right.
if Vegas is going to continue to have Asia Wilson move in the mid-range and just set screens or get screens set for her to get her moving instead of just being a stationary target on either block, that's not gonna bode well for Indiana moving forward, because Aliyah Boston is at her best when she's dictating the pace of the post. And in game two, she wasn't doing that. And again, I just think, to your point about her scoring, it's not something that even I thought about necessarily, because she didn't look bad without Caitlin, but she certainly
No.
didn't look how she looked with Caitlin.
Right.
I get your point there,
Yeah.
but as you were just talking about, thinking, yeah, that big difference is Kelsey Mitchell wasn't facilitating for Aliyah Boston and setting those things up for her the way that
Yeah.
Caitlin was, even though I'm not saying that Kelsey Mitchell has I know we like to talk about like Caitlin's gravity. I'm not saying that they're like at the same level, but Kelsey Mitchell definitely showed that she warrants her own gravity, but she's not shooting from the logos. Like even the spacing wasn't the same for Aliyah Boston. So
It's
like
a
I think
different
that's a
way of
part of it as well.
Yeah, it is. It's a different way of guarding, because Kelsey Mitchell, like even Fever fans get on her for not like not, her assist numbers not being higher. Like, I mean, it's kind of the only knock on Kelsey Mitchell, which is like all she does is score. But like, I think that's unfair, because if you watch how much attention she causes for that team with her speed and probing, I mean, she may not be getting like racking up assist numbers. She may not be like the gifted passer, that a Caitlyn is that can just rack up the assists, but like she is causing things to happen. Maybe she gets the assist of the assist, the hockey assist, like
Sure.
sometimes that may happen because I mean, she's the one who's usually getting in the paint, beating people off the dribble. I mean, what she lacks in not getting assists, she makes up for in putting the entire defense on their heels and creating making things happen with her speed offensively. But it's a different, like Kelsey Mitchell coming off a high ball screen, to your point. Like she's good. I mean, no one's guarded like Caitlyn is, that high up getting a ball screen. You got to show, or you have to blitz, right? So like that leaves the screener slipping like pretty much wide open right away. The way you guard Kelsey Mitchell on the ball screen and the way Kelsey Mitchell attacks the ball screen is different than Caitlyn. So like she's not really looking to drag out and look for the pass. Kelsey Mitchell is looking to turn the corner, hit a split, or get into the gap. Like she's too fat. So like with her speed, she's just not going to be guarded the same way. So I like, no, she's not the passer that Caitlyn is, but Kelsey Mitchell's a fine enough passer. I think it's like the mentality, honestly, of the whole team, starting with Aliyah, honestly. I mean, like, there are times when she seals hard and she's got someone pinned under, right? And you see her fighting and she's calling for the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that's when she knows she has the match. Like, I don't think she's calling for it like, consecutive. And I don't think they're looking to get it to her to be like, yo, AB, here you go, get a bucket. Like, again, and that's not necessarily like her game. Is just one-on-one post, get me here and let me operate jump hooks and score the ball. She's like, I just think they should be looking to put her in more actions, honestly, similar to the actions they put Asia in. Not so much like the on the move stuff below the free throw line, because that's where Asia's athleticism comes into play. AB, it's more about her strength. That's
Mm-hmm.
how that's where her advantage comes. But I think AB as a shooter, she's got the shooting touch. And we know, and again, even with her strength, like I just think they should be looking to go to her more. But that does start with her wanting the ball more and wanting them to go to her. Like they can't put that in you. You have to like want to score the ball in order for that to happen. So that's why I go back to, I don't know if that's a her thing or if that's the team, I guess, like deferring to, I guess, just like being okay. Like we don't think of her as like, our scorer. We just don't treat her that way. Or, but I think that it might be a small flaw. It's like, I think you could go to her more offensively. That's all I'm saying. I think she has more in her as a scorer, and she has to be aggressive. I think she has to try to be more aggressive.